The mirror didn't ask questions. It never did. It just reflected honest, unfiltered, sometimes cruel. Stevie stood in front of it, shoulders slightly hunched, eyes scanning not just the body staring back, but the story written into every inch of it. "Your goals don't care how you feel today," she muttered under her breath, the words tasting both bitter and empowering. "Only what you do today." It sounded like something you'd scroll past on a random Tuesday morning, a quote slapped onto a filtered sunrise. But today, it hit differently. Today, it wasn't decoration, it was instruction. Because today was one of those days. The kind where your body feels heavier than usual, like gravity turned up just for you. The kind where motivation doesn't show up, doesn't text back, doesn't even pretend to care. The kind where staying in bed feels like the only logical decision in a world that suddenly feels too loud, too fast, too demanding. Stevie exhaled slowly. "Working to get back up," she added, softer this time. Getting back up. It sounded simple, almost laughably so, but anyone who's ever fallen, really fallen, knew better. Getting back up wasn't just about standing, it was about deciding that the fall didn't define the ending, deciding that discomfort wasn't the boss, deciding that today still counted, even if it didn't feel like it. She stepped back from the mirror. The room was quiet, but not peaceful, more like the kind of silence that waits, like it's watching what you'll do next. Her gym bag sat by the door, untouched since yesterday, shoes neatly placed beside it, like they believed in her more than she did at that moment. Her phone buzzed. A notification, probably another reminder, another expectation, another tiny voice saying, "Do more, be more, show more." She didn't check it. Instead, she walked over to the window. Second floor, not high enough to be dramatic, but high enough to give perspective. The city stretched out in front of her, messy, alive, indifferent. Cars moved, people walked, life kept happening, whether she felt ready or not. Second pick. "I like the view," she whispered, half smiling. Because the view wasn't just what was outside. It was this moment. This in-between space where you could choose, stay down or rise up. She leaned her forehead gently against the glass. "You don't have to feel ready," she reminded herself, "you just have to move." That was the trick nobody really talked about. People love to showcase the highlight reels, the before and after, the glow up, the victory, but the middle? The messy, uncomfortable, unfiltered middle? That part stayed hidden. But that's where the real work lived. That's where she was. Not at the beginning, not at the finish line, somewhere in the grind, where progress felt slow and doubt felt loud. Her mind started its usual routine. "You're tired. You can skip today. One day won't matter. You deserve rest." And maybe all of that was true, maybe she was tired, maybe she did deserve rest. But there was another voice too, quieter, steadier. "If you don't go today, it becomes easier not to go tomorrow." That voice didn't yell, it didn't guilt, it just stated facts. Stevie straightened up. She didn't suddenly feel motivated. There was no cinematic swell of music, no lightning bolt of inspiration, just a small shift, a decision. She grabbed her bag. The weight of it in her hand felt symbolic, like she was holding responsibility, discipline, intention all at once. Each step toward the door felt deliberate, not rushed, not dramatic, just chosen. And that's what people misunderstood. Discipline wasn't loud. It wasn't flashy. It was quiet consistency. It was showing up when nobody clapped. It was doing the work when you didn't feel like the main character. Outside, the air hit differently, cooler, sharper, real. She walked toward her car, her reflection briefly catching in the window, different from the one inside. Not because she had changed physically in the last 5 minutes, but because her mindset had shifted. And that changed everything. Driving felt automatic. Her mind wandered, not to negativity, but to memories, the early days, the excitement, the hunger, the version of her that didn't overthink, didn't hesitate. "What happened to her?" she asked quietly. Then she answered herself. "She's still here, just waiting for you to stop doubting her." The gym parking lot wasn't full, but it wasn't empty either. A mix of people, each with their own stories, struggles, goals. Nobody really knew each other's battles, but they all showed up anyway. That alone created a kind of silent respect. Inside, the familiar sounds welcomed her. Weights clanking, shoes squeaking, music pulsing. It wasn't peaceful, but it was purposeful. She placed her bag down and stood still for a moment. This was it. The moment where intention met action. No overthinking, she told herself. And she started. The first rep felt heavy. The second felt heavier. By the fifth, her body protested. By the 10th, her mind joined in. But she didn't stop. Because somewhere between the struggle and the repetition, something shifted. Not physically, not yet. Mentally. That resistance she felt earlier, it started to crack, not completely, but enough to let something else through. Momentum. It's funny how that works. You don't wait for momentum to begin, you create it by starting. Set after set, her breathing steadied, her focus sharpened, the noise in her head quieted, replaced by something more constructive. Just one more. Stay with it. You've done harder things. Sweat dripped down her temple, but she didn't wipe it away immediately. It felt earned, like proof, like evidence that she showed up, not perfectly, not effortlessly, but honestly. Time passed differently in moments like this, slower and faster at the same time. And then suddenly, it was over. Not the journey, not the goal. Just the session. She sat down, catching her breath, heart still pounding but in a different way now. Not anxious, not overwhelmed, alive. See, she whispered, a small smile forming, you did something today. And that's all it was. Something. Not everything, not perfection, just progress. She grabbed her phone this time. The same notification still sat there, unread. It didn't feel as heavy anymore. Because she had already done the thing that mattered most, she acted. Standing up, she walked toward the mirror again. This one was different from the one at home. This one didn't just reflect who she was, it reflected what she did. And today, it showed someone who didn't quit. Someone who didn't wait for perfect conditions. Someone who chose action over excuses. Your goals don't care how you feel today, she repeated, this time with a hint of pride, only what you do today. She grabbed her bag and headed out. The view outside hadn't changed. Same streets, same buildings, same world. But she saw it differently now. Because the view isn't just what's in front of you. It's how you see yourself moving through it. And today? She liked the view.